Hi, guys.
Well, thank you. I went to the National World War II Museum in New Orleans, and I studied kind of it's not a specific area. You couldn't major in it, but it was STEM throughout history and just the understanding of humanity and how it really interlaces with the development of manufacturing throughout time and how that's significant too. Okay, so guys, look, laser pointer. This is where I was most of the time. This is Monsieur Stewart's tank. It took 4 years to redevelop the mechanics of the radial engine in this guy. This one was made for a radial engine, and I was studying kind of the difference between radial engine, block engine, 12-cylinder versus 9-cylinder, particularly Packards and Merlins, and then how different supercoolers were put into each kind, and what happens when you have to have a submarine manufacturer. Like, the thing that people don't understand is that America wasn't ready to go into World War II until about 6 months after it was decided that that's something we're gonna do. And so the manufacturing that had to go into that was kind of a conglomeration of what we were already ready to do and this mass production of slightly varied, more efficient versions of everything. And so so this is the Stewart, and here's the radial engine right there. I just thought I'd throw that in just to clarify that it's cool. And I was also working with the half track, and it's got wheels on half of it, and it's got tracks on the other half. And then also the airlift ones, so just the ability to, it's just all different tactics. Very interesting. But, and lastly, talking about the difference between preserving and, I don't want to say, there's a very specific vocabulary, and I don't feel qualified to use it, but you can either preserve or you can rebuild. And so this is the rebuilding, but that is only in the vehicle department of the National World War II Museum. Everybody else, any smaller artifacts, you pause in time, because otherwise it's more controversial if you change a piece of history, even if you're making it look like it would have in the time of its use. This is where I lived. Clearly 0 time for leisure. None at all, really. This is Judith. She is super cool. She is my aunt, but I stayed with my other aunt and uncle. That's the dinner I made. Super proud. New Orleans food is insane. Tabasco and everything. Really exciting. And I don't remember this dog's name, but he was really cute. And this is a cat I fell in love with. All right, and then outside the museum, I spent a lot of time at Judith has a membership to NOMA, the New Orleans Museum of Art. It was so much fun. We nerded out all over that. So beignets too. Really exciting. This is not Café du Monde, although that's where you go for the really nice ones. And I also happened to participate in the 2018 Stage Door Idol competition, which is like American Idol, but in the 40s. Super exciting. And I got to get all dolled up with all the locals. It was fun. This is Christina, not Christina, Christina. She's from Holland, and we had a really interesting discussion in the women's lounge of this, we were at a concert, I don't know, and I just got to meet so many diverse people, and one of them was Christina, and her experience leaving Holland and leaving Europe almost directly before she would have been taken into Dachau. And it was insane, just talking to these amazing people who are connected to the museum and all these kind of experiences that they had had. Also, I learned about what it's like to be in a corporate workplace, completely different than any kind of professionalism I've ever had to have, wearing heels every day. And also, small talk saves lives, for real. there were many times where I'd like get caught in the elevator with the head of a department, and it's just terrifying because they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard you're the intern. I heard you're the Mueller girl, and you know, do you know blah, 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 big vocabulary word?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. That is fascinating. Isn't it a beautiful day today?" You know, so just small talk. And yeah, and the biggest thing of all, I spent some time interviewing these different heads of the departments, and the biggest thing that I learned was to value the multidimensionality of war. You know, people try and say, this side good, this side bad, but there's always so much more to that, even if there is moral distinction there, you know, like just being able to use the artifacts and use the things you're seeing that are tangible and being able to recognize that humans are humans and that there are so many different factors that go into every single play in history. So, okay. Juniors, if you're not excited yet, you're wrong. Get really excited. This is one of the best experiences I have ever had, and just apply. I know everyone said that, but like you haven't listened yet, apply. Initiate appreciation. This is Erica Jensen, my best friend. She was kind of my supervisor, and we were like figuring out a lot of things together, and we spent so much time in this costume closet this one day. Not even important, just hilarious. But the ability to be professional has to come with the ability to appreciate the people around you. Take ownership. If you mess up, you mess up. Take ownership. Otherwise, a week after you leave, they're going to be like, what did she do? I promise. You're an adult when you're there. You're not with your parents anymore. It's kind of scary, but it's also a wonderful opportunity. So I just want you to remember that and have fun. And call your mom. Thank you.